thousands of Newport News employees and their families come through the gates for Family Day. I'm Brian Moore, and this is Focus NNS. For many employees, it's the first time they brought their families inside the gates. We'll take you out to the festivities. And getting ready for 2 subs a year, we'll show you how Newport News Shipbuilding is preparing. Plus, Susan Ford Bales, the sponsor of CVN 78, pays shipbuilders a visit. But first on deck, a day to celebrate families and friends, and a day to celebrate 125 years of shipbuilding. Jeremy Buston with our communication division takes us out to the Family Day celebration.
Thank you, Brian. We're having a great day at Family Day 2011.
It has been nearly 20 years since the Newport News Shipyard last opened its gates to employees, families, and friends. Thousands of people showed their enthusiasm as Shipyard President Matt Mulheron sounded the whistle on the locomotive to signal the start of Family Day 2011. There were displays from divisions throughout the shipyard, 3D modeling demonstrations, interactive gaming, and all types of information about the shipyard. Kids enjoyed rides, face painting, and games. It was like a carnival. There was even an ice cream truck on site for the kid and all of us. One of the most popular attractions was the shipyard windshield bus tour. Thousands flocked to buses to take a guided 40-minute tour of the yard. For many, it was the highlight of their day.
It was awesome. It was interesting. She enjoyed it too.
Very educational. Very educational.
Yeah, it was good. Good stuff.
Back to you, Brian.
Thanks, Jeremy. NNS Security estimates the crowds at 12 to 15,000. Now, let's take a look at some other news from around the yard. Not only did shipbuilders have a great time at Family Day, they also gave to some good causes. Shipbuilders brought canned goods totaling more than 1,500 pounds that was donated to the food bank of the Virginia Peninsula. More than $500 was raised from Supply Chain's Dunk Tank to benefit the Wounded Warrior Project. And leftover food from lunch was delivered to area shelters in honor of Hunger Action Month. Another important way shipbuilders give back to the community. As the VCS program ramps up to build 2 submarines a year, new facilities are needed to support the increase in production. On October 6th, shipbuilders signed the final beam and celebrated with a topping-off event of the new 74,000 square foot supplemental module outfitting facility, or SMOF. The traditional ceremony, complete with evergreen tree and an American flag, signifies that the steel frame structure is reaching its maximum height, in this case, 139 feet.
It's a tradition of the steel workers throughout the construction industry that they have a ceremony when the last piece of structural steel goes up. In the modular outfitting facility, we actually integrate Newport News delivered boats, but the supplemental modular outfitting facility will specialize in the construction of bow sections for both Newport News and electric boat delivered hulls.
The building includes 65,000 square feet of construction space and a 9,000 square foot office tower that will house supervisors, designers, and engineers. The building is scheduled to open next summer. What does college basketball and Newport News Shipbuilding have in common? The Quicken Loans Carrier Classic on Veterans Day. Michigan State University and the University of North Carolina will face off in San Diego on the flight deck of the Newport News built aircraft carrier USS Carl Vinson. And the winner of the game gets a trophy designed and built by Newport News Shipbuilding. NNS's participation was announced and a trophy mock-up unveiled during a press conference in New York. Many of the processes used to construct the trophy are the same processes used to build our ships.
My name is Harry Knapp. I'm a molder in the foundry brass shop. What I'm about to do is make a mold of the trophy for the Carrier Classic basketball game. This is the bottom half of the mold called the drag. You can see all the detail for the structure. This is the cope half, which is the top half of the mold. Both halves will be put together. This right here is core boxes. These make the interior hollow section of the casting, or the trophy. It's a special project for the basketball game. What we're going to do is we're going to hand scoop the sand in. We're not going any pin ramming on it so we don't damage any detail on it. We'll scoop the sand in by hand. We'll pour it in a little at a time, ramp it up as we go. The sand is a 55 grain sand. It's a phenolic sand. It'll harden and cure in less than 10 minutes. All right, the molding process is done. Now all I have to do is just take the mold off the pattern, put the 4 pieces in and close it up. We put all that together inside the mold closes up, then we pour the metal in, and we'll have ourselves a trophy. All right, now that the mold has been rammed and assembled, we're going to stand it up vertical, and the mold is now currently melting. It'll take about 15 minutes, and the metal will get up to a temperature of about 550 to 600 degrees. We're going to pour the mold pewter into this mold and make our trophy.
The trophy will be made of pewter and will be over 2 feet tall and weigh about 65 pounds. Be sure to check out the Carrier Classic on ESPN, and we'll have much more in the next edition of Focus NNS. The sponsor of CVN 78 and daughter of the ship's namesake pays a visit to Newport News Shipbuilding. In our feature focus, Susan Ford Bales gets an update on the construction progress of the ship. The Ford is now more than 50% structurally complete, and the final superlift of the ship's aft section took place in mid-September, completing the ship's stern. Mrs. Ford Bales says it's amazing to see the progress.
It's just very impressive. I can't believe how many people work on it and how many different systems there are and all the different kinds of people that work on it. And it's very impressive.
During her tour of the ship, she also took time to meet with shipbuilders. She says it's gratifying to see so many people working so hard on the ship that bears her father's name.
I've just really enjoyed getting to know all the different shipbuilders and all the different trades, and it's really interesting to me. And I know that my dad, because he's not with us anymore, would be doing this himself, and so as a sponsor I want to fulfill what he would have wanted.
Shipbuilders are proud to be building the Ford and honored that Mrs. Ford Bales comes to the yard to personally thank them for their work.
I think it was exciting the way she came and got involved with the employees, being that she's sponsoring the boat. I think it was pretty interesting the way she came and did hands-on. She came, she got with my foreman, and he showed her how we knock on double jack clamps. And I helped her shoot studs to show her how we put the jacks on, and she handled that pretty well.
Ms. Bales, it's been a big experience because, she's such a nice lady, especially some of the things she's accomplished in her career, so it's been a pretty big deal.
Well, it felt good because she's a very friendly lady, and she came and watched us well, and she enjoyed it.
So far, I'm amazed at how far we've come in such a short time. I came here when the first keel was dropped, and now we're above, 50% over the halfway mark, so I think it's going excellent.
Mrs. Ford Bales plans many more trips to Newport News Shipbuilding. She's especially looking forward to the christening ceremony scheduled for 2013. Well, that's it for this edition of Focus NNS. Make sure you check out the latest news on our shipbuilding website. There you'll find links to our weekly publication Currents and the latest edition of Yardlines. You can also follow us on our shipbuilding Facebook and Twitter pages. And if you have a story idea or feedback about Focus NNS, email us at focusnns@hii-nns.com. Thanks for watching. I'm Brian Moore.